Hey guys, welcome back again. Yes Academy podcast. And well, you see the name?
Well, that is why we don't have to introduce ourselves. We just put our names there.
Yes. So we've been talking about what?
Generating leads,
Generating leads.
preparation, then chit chat and understand prospects' needs.
Yeah.
And-
And coming today, I'm super excited about what we're going to say. Seriously, super excited.
It's pitching, right? Pitching, of course, pitching is the next one. Once you have understood the prospect's needs, then of course you need to pitch. What is defined, how we define pitching is basically is to convince your prospect that whatever you're going to introduce to them will meet their needs. So basically, it's that, right? So, but for you, what pitching is for you? Why do you like pitching so much?
Because I think people only give you a short amount of attention span. And within that short amount of time, you have to let them know that you are giving them the solution they need. You have to address the need they need. So it's a very short time period.
Yeah.
So it gives me adrenaline rush, especially. So because everything that we've been preparing, the small talk and everything comes to here. So, well, because if you do the pitch right, that's it. You get the results.
Not exactly. Nowadays, based on my experience, is that even though you have done a wonderful pitch, but people will still give you objections. Why? For the sake of giving you objection. I don't want to buy so fast. Why you are pushing me? I don't want to buy so fast. I don't want to buy now. Why are you pushing me? Right. So that's why that one we will talk about it in another episode. But today, let's focus on pitching.
Pitching, yes.
Pitching, yes, right. Now, usually, how would you pitch to your prospect?
Well, we started by, first of all, of course, in the last episode, we talked about knowing their needs through the small talks and whatnot. So once we know their needs, then it's time to put on some hook. Yeah, viral hook, or online would call viral hook. So the hook is important because, for example, you need to scare them a little with some data sometimes. Okay, you know their needs, give them some data, scare them, make sure that, oh, you see, this mind thing, it can do wonders because of this and that, can solve your thing. Then your closing will be much easier. So of course you have to be prepared, because if you don't prepare, you can't get enough of the hooks there, because the scenario can change time after time. Like for example, one of my favorite thing they like to do is to scare you about other competitors' product, and then immediately tell you that, you know, our product is safe. We don't have all these problems. Yeah. So these are one of the few things that we actually do hook to actually catch their attention.
Right. Yeah. So that is why we can categorize the pitching part of it into a few techniques. Right? So to make it easier for our audience to understand, let's put it into a few techniques.
Okay.
Now, you talk about hook, right? Hook. Of course, you must have something different from your competitors, then you can use that hook. If you are no different from that competitor, then that is not an effective hook. Correct?
Oh, that's definitely.
Yeah. So we call that technique as a value pitch, where you pitch your value as compared to your competitors. So we use a value pitch. Value pitch here means that what is so unique about you, only you have, your competitors don't have. So with that, then the salesperson or the networker will be able to, you see, my company have this. You're looking for this, isn't it? Other companies don't have, right? So my companies have it, right? So that is why you should get this product. So that is how it works. So the first technique is definitely in terms of the value. So before I usually get the salespeople to go out and all that, I will ask them to work out what are their USPs, compare them against their competitors. Because when they don't know how to differentiate between them and their competitors, then how do you hook?
Chances are they are not interested, because you can't convince them to, let's say,
Correct.
switch the brand.
Correct. You know, one of the questions that will always come up if you ask me to switch a brand, right? They will, one question,
What's so special about you?
yeah, what's so special about you? And that is why you go back to your unique selling point, which is your value. Either in terms of the product, either in terms of the services that you provide, either in terms of the company itself. So what is your value, or what is your unique thing that only you have but competitors don't have?
So with this, I think this is something that is well prepared, especially for Yes Global members, because we actually look design our products, because this is more like a value. So we design our product into by looking at all the 5 P's as well. First, the pricing must be very competitive, and not just that, the product must be very effective, and then it's available at the right location, and then demographic wise it's suitable. And then there's no side effect, and there are also, most importantly, all the documentation, legal documentation to prove that this is actually effective and safe.
Yeah. So that is where you have an advantage over your competitors. So in marketing, we call this competitive advantage, right? The USP, the unique selling point, it's a competitive advantage. So always look at your competitive advantage. You remember in one of the episodes I was telling you about this heavy machinery, why they can sell 20% more expensive than the Chinese brand. Of course, they do have certain USP, which they have, the Chinese brand will not have.
I'm just curious, what are the USP of that?
Well, one of it is that they have a long history in Malaysia. Yeah, they have a history of like 50 over years.
50?
Yeah, 50.
Oh, wow. Okay,
so
that's
that is a USP by itself. And how they actually use it is because, like for example, how long do you think the Chinese brands will be here? Right? They have been here only like a couple of years, but we have been here for 50 years. But will we be here for the next 50 years? I believe we will be around for the next 50 years. Yeah, so that is the selling point that they always bring up.
So they are selling trust, and they are selling that. Oh yeah, it's trust. Longevity of their business.
Yeah. So that is one way of how you create that kind of value, right? Then okay, fine. Yeah, you are only here for 2 years. Others have been here for so many years. How are you going to talk about your value?
That's true, because especially in heavy machineries, what they are looking for is the after-sales service. Because machines, you won't use it for just 1 year, 2 years. It will be for a long time.
Definitely.
And you want to make sure that there will always be people who will service you, and whatnot.
Yeah. And one more thing they were telling me also is that this Chinese company, they will allow their clients to try it out for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Free of charge. Well, of course, this company, right, you cannot do that. So I say, wow, that is a really big USP for the other side, not for you.
So how did they handle this kind of?
They will need to look at other things, other avenues in terms of the USP, right? That their clients are looking for.
I see. So what if today that there's not enough USP? Let's just say not enough.
Create. If you don't have enough USP, then you create the USP, because if you want to charge that kind of price, you must have that kind of USP or benefit, or that will come to the value, right? If you don't have, then how can you charge that kind of price?
That's true. I mean, a lot of people actually do that. They try to charge them without even having USP, and they can't address the why. And when you can't address the why, most likely you don't get the sales.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, people will say that, okay, I pay that kind of price, I can pay that kind of price, but what are the values that you're giving me?
I was hoping to say that maybe there are other ways where we convince, because sometimes, especially family members and friends, because they can't convince us, after we throw them so many rejections and whatnot, the only thing they can say is, please support me. I think that's called begging. Yeah.
What they can actually do is that, now, what's the reason why the family reject them? We need to know what's the reason behind. Is it something that they said, or is it something that the prospect is not convinced of? Why? Right? If we can understand the underlying behind the why, then we can come up with answers. Now, if you don't understand why they are rejected, then how are we supposed to develop answers?
Oh, I think this is going to be a very broad topic, especially this is called objection handling, I would say.
Yeah, correct. That will be under objection handling. But right now, let's focus on the pitching part right there. So how do you convince is, value. And please educate, either your salespeople or your network marketers, right, in terms of what is so unique about our company, our product, our services, everything. So that they know, right? Now, this one I will need to use this part, this one I will use this part, I don't have to use everything, fine. But they can create that kind of value.
But at the end of the day, it's also to understand the person's need, and then tailor the pitch into something that the person wants to listen. Because at the end of the day, I think we all have developed some kind of bias when we talk to people. And
Matching.
yes, and at the end of the day, we also expect certain answers from certain people.
Correct. So that is why those days I do have that kind of biasness also. But right now I told myself, let's not have that biasness. Let's have an open mind and see what are the questions or how they will answer those questions. And when they answer, I will pick on from the question what the answers. Then I will add on more questions based on the answers until I am happy that I've got the information that I want.
And one of the things that I like to do, because back then I like to do a lot of pitching, people go to TED Talk and a lot of things to do pitching. So I like to actually practice my pitch in front of the mirror, because I like to look at the way I speak, because this is a time where the attention is all on you and you have that 30 seconds to 90 seconds to do all your pitch or whatever.
Do you know that pitching is actually in speech? Pitching is actually the body. It is not the introduction. The introduction is getting to know your prospect. So from there, you will say that, right? So you have asthma issue. That is the hook. Yeah, that introduction. You have the hook. Sorry, you have asthma.
So
I
you
have
know
the
the need.
product.
I see.
So basically, in speech, I'm glad you bring them up, right? So pitching is actually the body. The intro is actually the understanding needs.
Yes. And also because one of the time when we go pitch to people, like you mentioned about body, okay, we also project not just the message, because the message everyone can say it, but also how we say the message.
Correct.
Yeah, whether or not the verbally, the intonation, the speed.
Correct.
Whether or not I'm clear in terms of pronunciation, body language.
The confidence,
Yes.
right? Because even if you have the best product in the world, but you are not able to say it, it's no point.
Yes. So what I do usually, I really like to look into the mirror, and then I start to practice my pitch. It's just that few pitch that you prepared. Then after that, I look into the way I look into myself, because you got to look into the person, not stare, of course. Look into the person, then give them the confidence, show them the good body language,
Right.
and then make sure that they know that you know what you have, the tone. Then only I believe that the pitch is actually a quality one, I would say.
Yes, right. So that is one technique when it comes to pitch. That's the value approach when it comes to pitching.
So what are the other techniques, I would say?
That's where we will come back in the next section to discuss about what are the other techniques.
So see you guys later. Welcome back, guys. So we were talking about pitching.
Yep. According to you, is your favorite?
Yeah, like I said, favorite.
Just now we shared about value.
Yes.
Value approach when it comes to pitching, about what is so unique about you. That's where you create the kind of values. Next is in terms of WIIFM.
WIIFM, okay.
WIIFM.
WIIFM.
What do you think is that?
What? W?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Okay, guys, mark that down. What's in it for me? Type it in the chat box. What's in it for me? Okay,
Yes.
what about this?
See, a lot of time, client will always ask, prospect will ask the question, okay, so why me? How does it benefit me? All right, and what's in it for me? So that is where they will ask for benefits. Benefits in terms of what can they do for me, right? So that is the WIIFM.
Yeah, many times when we approach the people, especially when it comes to products, so how does this product work for me? I want to know how this thing can help me.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's where the WIIFM talks about benefits. Yeah. Like for example, why do you buy insurance?
To make sure that if there's any misfortunate things happening,
Correct.
I am covered
You are
financially.
covered. not only you are covered, your family is also covered.
That's true.
So basically, it's not to protect yourself only, but also to protect your family. So that's why you buy insurance, right? So what's in it for me? It's protection, not only for me, but also for my loved ones. So that's the WIFM. People understand why they buy insurance, but will people talk about when it comes to health, right? When I eat this product, what do I get? What's the benefit that for me? So that is why you need to state the benefit by using your product. What would you get?
I see. And a lot of times I think, especially in network marketing, we like to use storytelling.
Correct.
Yeah, we like to tell to people about some examples, some people, their story. Let's just say, for example, you mentioned just now about, do you have asthma? Yes, you have asthma. So do you know that some people who have asthma who consume our product and today they don't have asthma again?
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only that, you share an example of a person who has very serious asthma, and then after that was before he took your product. But after taking your product, then he's getting better and better, right? So that is the story. How you can actually convince your prospect, right, in terms of the WIFM. Yeah, you take our product, yeah, that is the benefit. Equal, your asthma will go away. So that is WIFM.
And I think this is a very powerful technique, because at the end of the day, people are only interested in their own interest. And let's face it, because every day, I don't think we will think about what you want. We always think about what I want
to sell.
Yeah.
I want to sell.
Yeah.
Remember, in network marketing and in a lot of the other industries, it's not about selling your product. It's no longer the concept about selling your product. You are just like an advisor. You advise people, right? So if you come from that kind of mindset, then it will be better for you, right? So the mindset has to change. That I'm not selling anything. Even if you don't want to buy now, it's okay. Yeah, but I'm here to advise you
based on the needs that we know from the questions that we ask.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. So that is WIFM.
I believe that before we go to WIFM, because we have to also design our speech in a way where when they listen, they know that, oh yeah, this is what I want from you.
Yes, because sometimes what happens is that prospect doesn't know what they want.
Oh yes, all the time.
And suddenly you trigger it inside them. Oh yeah, I need this. Okay, then they will buy.
And if the pitch is good, then we'll get their attention.
Pitch is to get attention. To be able to close, not yet.
I see.
Right.
So to be able to close, you mentioned about objection handling.
Yes, correct.
And whatnot.
Correct. That will be another episode by itself.
I see.
Yeah.
So is there any special, even to close is also another topic itself, right?
Yes, close also, they have a couple of techniques in closing.
I see.
Trial closing, alternative closing, what if closing, adjournment close, all those are which we'll cover later on.
I see. So, so for this thing, I think in a general rule, what is your advice for people who want to improve their pitch, other than practicing their speech?
Let me finish the other two
Techniques.
methods first,
Okay.
right? So I've shared with you WIFM. Now the next one I would like to share with you is try first.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is very common, right?
Yes.
You may not believe me, but it's okay.
Take this sponsorship, take it, and
Try first.
Try first.
Once you have taken it, then let me know, right? So very common techniques, and that is how you convince people. They are not convinced, that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Let them try first. They have samples, right? They sample.
Plenty of samples.
Samples. So let them try the sample, and if they like it, then they will come back automatically.
Oh, it happens too many times here.
Right. Yeah. So this is also another technique, and I believe a lot of people will use this technique. Try first. This is the technique. Convince people try first.
Yeah.
Or some of your network marketers say that support me.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
I would say, rather than saying support me, I would say try first is a much better approach than support me.
Oh yes, because one, it sounds like begging. One sounds like give a try. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. So, and these are the samples. Try it.
Yeah. Because usually when you give out sample, you say try me. But when you want that person to support you, that's where you ask for money.
That is where salespeople will need to understand that not in the first visit you close a deal. No, if you do in the first visit to close a deal, it's a good thing. But how often people will get that?
Very, very rare.
Very rare, right? Maybe out of 10 cases you may get
One or
one,
two.
two, yeah. But how about the other cases? Are you going to push until people get so fed up with you and ask you to leave?
Nope. That's a very bad one.
Correct. Don't do that. Don't do that, right? So we want to do it professionally. So the keyword here is professionally. So let's see what are the ways in terms of how we can deal with it professionally. Okay, so that's another method in terms of try first. Right. Now the next method, and last but not least, is in terms of, some people want to know about the data, about the effectiveness, about the study. So this is where you will need to present all the information for them to have a look. So I believe you have done a lot of clinical studies when it comes to health products. I believe that will be a plus point when it comes to clinical studies, comes to things that has affecting people's health. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, you're right. It's like sometimes, let's just say that we talk about slimming products, okay? So we will tell people that this slimming product, how this thing is actually affecting X amount of people, and then how many people is actually suffering from obesity, overweight problem, and then if you have overweight problems, what will happen? Because you get into a lot of trouble with your high blood pressure and whatnot, and that will later on lead to even more health complications. And because of all this data, so it's important to take care of your weight and health right now. So you need our product.
Correct. So that is where because people want to see data, people want to see the certification that you have got, so that will also convince them that I will give it a try.
Yeah, I think especially to people today really want to see data only, because once you don't give them evidence of your pitch, I would say, or your data, people will be like, I don't believe you. I don't believe what you say.
Yes, correct.
And a lot of times right after you pitch them, what they do, they go to ChatGPT and
they will
Google
check
and check.
They will check.
Yes.
And now it's so easy to check. See whether whatever you say is true or not. Just put it into ChatGPT and the answers will come out.
Yeah, and most importantly, right now, today, the information is more scrutinized than ever, especially with AI right now. It becomes much easier. Back then, even when I talk about Google, it's not that smart yet, because Google can still be misleading. But AI today, most of the time, they are not misleading.
No, they are not. Yeah. So can you imagine, you are the salesperson now, and as compared to, let's say, just 10 years ago, it's totally different. It's totally different. So that is why, if they use the old method, it's not going to work.
Yes, and most likely you have to be, the data you represent must be, let's call it ChatGPT proof. You have to pass the test of ChatGPT.
Correct.
If ChatGPT doesn't even support your data and idea, then most likely.
No. Recently, what I did with ChatGPT was that I did a run, in the sense that I get them to do in terms of the insurance industry, because I was doing for this client. So I got them to run the data. When it comes to insurance industry, I would say compared to what the official data is, it's quite accurate. So you don't say that they are not accurate. They are quite accurate.
Very, very accurate. Yeah. And I even when I go to see doctors, trust me, when doctors are sometimes salesperson. So they try to teach me to buy certain things.
Correct.
Right after what they say, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, I use all AI software. So I think it's important for us to do enough preparation so that our data is convincing to support our claims.
And this is one part of the preparation where the salesperson or the networker will need to make, prepare all the data, right? Just in case the prospect wants to see the data. If we don't know what kind of data they want to see, but who knows? One fine day when they want to see it, you have the data.
And why did I mention that this thing must be ChatGPT proof? Because sometimes people don't believe your data as well, even if you present that with the statistic, bar and whatnot. So what they want is, show me in front of me, type it to Grok and Gemini. If whatever ChatGPT is saying is supporting you, then most likely.
That is why whenever I do any data collection or to verify the data, I will use multiple sources. I will not only depend on ChatGPT, but I will also depend on the other official, for example, official channels or the other data, so that it will collaborate. It will make sure that the data is more or less accurate, so that when we come to making decisions, then we can make correct and appropriate decisions.
I see. Wow. It's not easy today.
No. Like for example, those days when I was doing a study on multi-level marketing, the number of multi-level marketing. In 2011 when I did that study, I did a study for the company I was doing consultancy with. At that time, multi-level marketing companies in Malaysia was about 400 over companies, which is quite large. And the industry size, the market size is about, if I'm not mistaken, at that time it was 5 billion. Market size 5 billion. And when I did a deeper research, I found out that the top 5, Amway, I cannot remember. I know Amway is one of the company. Then Usana, the top 5 companies, they control about 70% of the industry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the rest are all the small players. So can you imagine when you are just a small player, how competitive that can be?
So basically, the rest of the 400 minus 5 compete for 30% of the cake.
Yeah, 20% of the cake. Some are big, some are smaller, some are just very, very small. So yeah, that is basically how we need to analyze the market, so that we can actually use those data, the relevant data, to be able to convince our prospect.
Yes. I think we really learned a lot this based on pitching. And then I think I still really want to ask you this question. You see, when it goes to pitching, what are the other things that they need to prepare? Like for example, for me, I like to look in front of camera and then practice, practice my pitch.
Yeah. Practice your tone, your body language, very important, and your eye contact. Where do you do most of the time? And the other part is also in terms of the sales kit. What are we call it the sales kit, but I'm not sure what you all call it. What do you bring along when they are meeting with their prospect? Those days we carry files, 1 bag, 2 bags, a lot of files, printed materials. But now,
iPad, phone.
Yeah, just an iPad. I think a phone is a bit too small, but an iPad. And that's where I can show you everything that is in the iPad. So I must make sure all this information is in the iPad.
I think maybe we need to give some advice to the introverts, young people. So one of the things that I learned, especially when it comes to practicing the speech and the pitch, is to join Toastmaster. I think this is something that really
yes
it's the most wonderful decision I've made in my life, because in Toastmaster they actually teach you on how to craft your speech, how to prepared speech, how to even start an introduction, 3 points, then do a proper conclusion, and with that people understand what's your message. And it also teach you on how to pronounce, how to avoid the A, the R counters. So
I think the biggest takeaway from Toastmasters is basically to build your confidence. You need that confidence in order to be able to face different situations.
Yeah. So for those people who are listening to our podcast and they are having issues with their speech, problems talking, confidence issue, I think they should really sign up Toastmaster, join every week, bi-weekly, monthly meetings, so that they can improve themselves. Because going through the CC module, is it competent communicator?
No, no more. They call it pathways.
Pathways, okay.
Yeah, it's a new syllabus.
So is it still the 10 syllabus?
No, now they broke it up into 10 different pathways, and each pathway, I think about 4 or 5 assignments that you need to complete.
Oh, it's an even longer one.
Yeah. You come back to Toastmasters, then they will explain to you.
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah. So I think this is something that really people should take this opportunity to learn, because if you don't learn, if you don't prepare, then you plan to fail.
Yeah. Of course, one thing is that you may go and join Toastmasters, but for many of you who have this fear of looking at the audience, I would suggest before you even go to meet your prospect, do a role play first with your superior or whoever that you can do a role play with. Do a role play and get the person to mimic the situation that you could be in. Yeah, do the role play, practice, and then after that get feedback.
Yeah, and it's a very effective tool as well, especially when during a role play we like to talk about even handling objection for next topic. But
yeah. Can, right? Basically, you do practically everything. Yeah?
Yes.
So the role play will actually help you to iron out whatever that is not good about your pitch or the way you ask questions. For example, the way you ask questions, I don't understand. When I don't understand, then suddenly you move into pitching. Right? So I think these things can happen. These things happen. You need feedback.
Yes.
You need feedback, which of course you will learn it in Toastmasters.
So guys, I hope you guys really learn from this episode, pitching, my favorite thing. And then also, if you guys are really having issues with your speech and trying to build your confidence, please go to Toastmaster and sign up. And I believe that through Toastmaster you will learn a lot. So
till we meet you in the next episode. And next episode we are going to talk about handling complaints. Not handling complaints, sorry. Handling objections.
so see you guys at the next episode. See you.